Welcome back, everyone. It's Crush Frequently, bringing you our league leaders through 4 weeks of season play. Let's first start with the standings. We'll start with the NFC East. The Phoenix Cardinals 3-1, Eagles 3-1, Giants 2-2, Washington and Dallas 2-2. So it's a real tight race there. The NFC Central, the Bears looking dominant, 4-0. Packers and Lions 2-2, and the Vikings and the Buccaneers are 1-3. And looks like the defense of the Bears only giving up 68 points. Dominant defense there after 4 games. NFC West, the 49ers. Dominant 4-0. The Saints are 3-1. Falcons 2-2, and the lovely Rams are 0-4. Look at the defense here. 49ers giving up only 59 points, and the Saints have only given up 58. Now to the AFC East. This is a very close race. The Miami Dolphins, Buffalo Bills, and Indianapolis Colts are 2-2. Jets 1-3, and no surprise, the Patriots are 0-4 behind Steve Grogan. But I'm surprised that the Colts are 2-2. Their defense is it's abysmal. They've given up 128 points. Here we go. AFC Central. Your Cincinnati Bengals 4-0. The Houston Oilers 2-2. Steelers 1-3, and the Browns 1-3. Our defense has been sensational. Looks like it may be the best in the league right now, only giving up 48 points over 4 games. AFC West. We have the Raiders and Chiefs 3-1, Seahawks and the Chargers 2-2, and the Denver Broncos 0-4. Kind of looks like, again, when you look at the disparity in defense, after Seattle, they have given up 77 points, and you jump way up to 104 points and 94 points. So, hence the difference there in records. Now we're going to look at our league leaders here. We will just for the time's sake, right now I'm just going to look at the NFL as a whole. We'll look at let's start here at the bottom. Punt returning for the NFL, I guarantee we're not in the league leaders. Is it J.J. Verdon, averaging 19 yards on punt return? That's awesome. Mathis for the Jets, 12.5. We have Langhorne, Maggett, Henry Ellard at 7. J.J. Burden there at 10. All these are solid numbers here. Going to the bottom half. And number 18 for the Bengals, Smith. I can't believe I even average 5.8. So there are guys that are worse than me, without question. Irvin Fryer, kind of surprising. Those are your punt return leaders. Here are the kick return leaders. Walker, 24.2. Warren for Seattle, 23. Verdon, 22. And look at number 5, Stanford Jennings. Looks like 20.8 kick return. We go down to Eric Metcalf. He has 17.5. Dave Maggett also at 17.5. Go down to Mitchell. And the bottom half here, surprisingly, Vaisi Kahima, who is, I believe this may be the twilight of his career, but he was a perennial Pro Bowler. I'm surprised to see him way down there at the bottom. And those are the league leaders for kick returns. For interceptions, Lippett for the Patriots. 5 interceptions, 58 yards, and one INT or one touchdown. Carrier for the Bears, big time plays there. 4 interceptions for 80 total yards and one touchdown. We have here some linemen. We have Dolman for Minnesota. He has 2 INTs. Looking through here, I don't believe. Well, we may have a player here in the interception leaders. Maybe not. Now we're here into the bottom half. We're getting into the guys who just have 1 interception for the season. All right, here are your sack leaders. I expect that we're going to have a Bengal or 2 in here. Oh, Derek Thomas, 7 sacks already through 4 weeks. Charles Haley has 6. You have some studs in there. Bruce Smith, 5. No surprise with a lot of these guys. Oh, Carl Zander, 4 sacks through 4 weeks. He's playing very well. And we have some Richard Dent. And those are the sack leaders. Let's go to the scoring leaders, which should be the kickers. Maybe not. Thurman Thomas. Looks like he has 8 touchdowns. Anderson with 6. Marion Butts. Barry Word. James Brooks is right up there with 6. Jerry Rice. Rathman. That's a potent offense there. They have 2 guys. Ricky Prohl. Stephon Page. There's Eddie Brown with 5 touchdowns. Sherling Sharp's in there. Barry Sanders with 4. Novacek. And we get down to number 16. Then we have the kickers. 24 points there. Ernest Biner's in here. Willie Gault. Bo Jackson has 4 touchdowns. Those are our scoring leaders. Here are the punting leaders. Straczynski, 2 punts for 53 yards. I have no idea if this includes like the net yardage or how it works, to be honest. Reggie Roby comes in at 5, 49 yards a punt. I believe Sean Landetta at 12, 47 yards. Jeff Fiegels, 45. I'm not sure that I punted this season, actually. So we may not even be in here, and we're not. Those are our punting leaders. Now we get to the stats that everyone likes to look at. Our passing leaders. Steve DeBerg is leading the league, 77% completion for 707 yards, an average of 19.6. He has 11 touchdowns to 2 INTs. Look at that passer rating, 227.4. Steve DeBerg dominant. Number 2, your Boomer Esiason, 66% completion, 605 yards, 16.8 average, 10 touchdowns, only 1 INT, and a not so shabby 208% quarterback rating. Rosenthal, surprisingly, number 3, 65% completion, 689 yards, 9 touchdowns to no interceptions. Very efficient, 203 for his QB rating. Mark Rippon at 4, Harbaugh at 5, Joe Montana at number 6. Joe Montana, 62% completion, 716 yards, 7 touchdowns, no interceptions, 160 is his rating, and I'm not surprised. Number 7, we have Bubby Brister. Jay Schrader, number 8, QB Eagles, who obviously is Randall Cunningham, 65% completion, 840 yards, 17 average. He's thrown 5 touchdowns, 1 INT. Then we have Miller, Phil Simms, and the Magic Man Mikowski. 13, Warren Moon, 57% completion for 846 yards, 8 touchdowns to 4 INTs. 130.5 is his QB rating. Dan Marino, Rodney Peete, Wade Wilson, Troy Aikman, and somehow Steve Grogan is at 18. Grogan is completing 51.6%. He has thrown for 830 yards, 8 touchdowns, 4 INTs for 117. It's not bad. Now we're getting here to the bottom. Jeff George, Billy Joe Tolliver, Jim Everett, Dave Craig, Ken O'Brien, and Steve Walsh. Especially with Billy Joe Tolliver there, under 50% completion. Let's look at the QB ratings here. Anything probably in this area, and Tecmo's not real swift. And to the very bottom half here, somehow QB Bills, Jim Kelly, having a rough start to the season. The 55.5% completion isn't bad. 645 yards. He's only thrown 3 touchdowns, 4 INTs. Then we have Lightning Feet, Kozar, QB Browns, disgusting 49% completion, 797 yards. He has thrown 7 touchdowns to 6 INTs. And then Vinny Testaverde, 53% completion, 592 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. That's inexcusable. Now our NFL receiving. Ernest Givens has 15 catches, 5 touchdowns. Andre Rison, 13 catches, 3 touchdowns. Keith Byers, 13 catches. Kemp, 12 catches. Brad Muster, the fullback there in Chicago, 12 catches, 332 yards. That's a great average out of the backfield there. 2 touchdowns. Ricky Prohl having a good year, 5 touchdowns. Rob Thomas, not to be confused with the subpar singer, has 4 touchdowns on the season. Jerry Rice, 11 catches for 5 touchdowns. Sterling Sharp, 11 catches. Jay Novacek and Willie Galt. Kevin Mack has 11 catches for 3. Mark Duper, 354 yards. Look at that average, 32 yards a catch, 4 touchdowns. Stephon Page, another monster season, 10 catches, 303 yards, 5 touchdowns. Impressive. Irving Fryer. So far, I have not seen any of your Cincinnati Bengals until now. We have Eddie Brown, 9 catches for 238 yards. Not bad at all. 5 touchdowns. We have Al Toon. And those are our receiving leaders. Let's go to the last stat here. Our rushing leaders. Thurman Thomas, even with an injury that kept him out a little bit, 48 attempts, or 48 rushes, I should say, 541 yards. Look at his average, 11.2 and 7 touchdowns. Bo Jackson, typical Bo Jackson, 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. Barry Sanders, typical Barry Sanders, 360 yards. We go down here, Ernest Biner. We shut him down, but he's having a pretty good season. Neil Anderson. And let's see, Barry Word, 4 touchdowns. Roger Craig has a touchdown. Ironhead Hayward, 1 touchdown. And I have not seen James Brooks yet. We spread it out a little bit, so I'm not sure what that's going to look like. There we go. James Brooks, 31 carries. He's got a 7.1 average and 6 touchdowns. Merrill Hodge has 31 carries, 210. Going down to the bottom half here. Some of these guys, or a lot of these guys, are the fullbacks or the second back. Look at Rathman, 22 carries, 4 touchdowns. And those are our league leaders through week 4. Hope you enjoyed this little segment. I will bring the league leaders again through week 8. Thank you so much for watching.